All right, sixth graders, we are back and it is Thursday, April 23rd, and we have two passages again to read today. And as I said before, guys, these are really long. So if you want to do one and then wait until the weekend to complete the other, um, or divide them up because these are long. All right, this one is called The Scent of Memory. Paragraph 1. Scientists say, hold on, let me go back. We're on page 28 to 32. Okay? And again, we're citing evidence. So, the scent of memory. Scientists say that more than sight, sound, touch, or taste, the sense of smell can trigger memory. For me, the smell of wood smoke always makes me think of autumn. One whiff and I am 12, at home on my family's farm, snuggled in bed as the smell of wood smoke snakes through my slightly open bedroom window. It is early autumn, and all around us our neighbors are harvesting apples. We have been eating apple pie, apple sauce, apple cakes, even apple stew. My family does not own an orchard, but we rejoice in the benefits of the harvest and our special neighbors. It's Saturday morning. My father wakes me gently, saying, "Let's go, Chris, it's time." I stand up stiffly, shivering, the chill draft hurrying me over to pull on jeans and a shirt, my favorite old sweatshirt, and my warmest socks. My mom is already up and at the stove, coffee cup in one hand, stirring a huge pot of oatmeal with the other. It's not my favorite breakfast in the world, but on a morning like this, with hard work ahead of me, I know I'll appreciate it later. Good stuff, Lynn, my dad says as he gives my mom a kiss on one cheek. He spoons out a huge bowl for himself and then one for me. Even with raisins and brown sugar, it's hard to swallow. Eat up, Chris, my dad teases. It'll stick to your ribs. He and my mom talk as they drink their coffee and eat their breakfast. It's all bills and money talk, so I tune out, watching the leaves swirl outside. My little sister pads in after a while, all pink fluff and fuzzy curls. Even I have to admit she's kind of adorable. She crawls silently into my dad's lap, and he nestles her right into the crook of his arm, as if the shape of his arm was made to fit the curve of her back. He manages this maneuver while continuing to sip his coffee and talk to my mom. After we finish breakfast, we say goodbye to the two of them and head out. It is just past dawn, and in the east, a smattering of lacy clouds drifts slowly across the streaks of pink, orange, and red that forecast a cold day. The air smells lightly of wood smoke from the farmers who are burning brush in the nearby orchards. Crunch, crunch, crunch. My feet push easily through the carpet of fallen leaves on the way to the barn. The colors are outrageous. Orange, red, yellow, and even greens that are bright and playful. I can't resist kicking a few piles into the air to watch them swirl. In the barn, it's warmer, with animal breath and body heat creating a hazy fog. I scratch our old goat, Ginger, behind her ears, pat the orange tabby Huck, and say good morning to Jessie and her three pups. They are still squirmy and warm and snuggling in for breakfast. We feed the animals and then load up the truck with everything we need: axes, clippers, small saw, twine, gloves. Our neighbor has trees down and has offered the wood to anyone who wants to come and chop it up. With the winter weather we're expecting, we can use all the firewood he can spare. The more we can get by on fireplace heat this winter, the better. Woohoo! You feel that, Chris? Fall is here for sure. My dad rubs his hands together and starts the truck. I nod in agreement and reach up to tuck my nose into my sweatshirt collar. Then my hands go into my sweatshirt pocket. Dad laughs. Don't worry, in no time at all you'll be sweating. At Mr. Arnold's place there are 3 trees down, 2 apple trees and 1 huge old oak that got dragged down when the apples blew down in our first storm of the season. The holes their roots left behind are enormous, and I want to crawl into them and explore. But Dad has other plans for me. Okay, Chris, we're going to start with the lowest branches here. We'll strip the branches and work our way up the tree, then we can chop up the trunk. We dig in, Dad correcting my axe strokes from time to time, interrupting my swing to show me where to hit the branch just right so that I'll get a cleaner cut. He was right. In no time, I'm sweating enough to take my sweatshirt off, but my breath comes out of my mouth, steaming in the frosty air. By noon, we've stripped off the lower branches and have the truck full of wood, about a cord's worth. We'll need about 4 more to get through the winter, but we thank Mr. Arnold and promise to be back tomorrow. On the ride home, I nearly fall asleep, so my dad reaches over and gives me a playful punch in the arm. That went twice as fast today with your help, son. You're getting pretty strong, he says, and I feel positively mighty. I watch the orchards as we pass. There are so many shades of orange and red that I can't possibly record them all. So I breathe deep and flood my nose to best recall the memories of this day. All right, we are going to look at the questions now. Okay, one thing I wanted to do is clarify a word here. So they stripped off the lower branches. We're back at paragraph 16 and have the truck full of wood about a cord's worth. Okay, I wanted to look up cord to see what exactly a cord was, the dimensions exactly. And a cord is a stack 8 feet long by 4 feet high by 4 feet deep. So they're stripping these branches off to get firewood, and it's 8 feet long, 4 feet high, 4 feet deep. That's what a cord is. Okay. All right, let's go on to the questions now. All right, number 6, because it continues from the previous story. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right. Okay, so the following question has 2 parts. First, answer part A, then answer part B. All right. What is one theme of the Scent of Memory? So remember, a theme is the message. What is a message in a Scent of Memory? And scent, by the way, that scent, S-C-E-N-T, has to do with smell. Okay? So A, scientists have proven that smell is an important scent. B, the harvest is an unpleasant time with big rewards. C, life on a farm is better than life elsewhere. D, thinking about the past is a powerful source of emotion. So which one of those is a theme from Scent of a Memory? All right, and then part B. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, so which sentence from the Scent of Memory best supports the answer you gave in A? Scientists say that more than sight, sound, touch, or taste, the sense of smell can trigger memory. For me, the smell of wood smoke always makes me think of autumn. C, on the ride home, I nearly fall asleep, so my dad reaches over and gives me a playful punch in the arm. D, there are so many shades of orange and red that I can't possibly record them all, so I breathe deep and flood my nose to recall the memories of this day. Okay, so go ahead and mark your answer there on what you think it is, and we'll move on to number 7. All right, number 7 says, select 3 sentences that should be included in a summary of Scent of Memory. A boy describes the many pleasures in his life on a farm. I want to remind you that a summary is the main idea and details that support that main idea. That's what you would put in a summary. All right. B, thinking about the smell of wood smoke, a man recalls an autumn day in his youth. C, his best memories are of the barn, the goat, the cat, the dog, and chopping wood. D, his mother and sister stay at home while he and his father share a harvest with neighbors. E, he wakes up early and has breakfast with his family before heading out with his father. He and his father feed the animals in the barn and then chop wood on a neighbor's farm. G, he sweats from working so hard, but his breath still looks like steam in the cold air. All right, so 3 sentences that should be included in a summary. If you were summarizing this story, which 3 sentences would you include in there that were important to the story? All right, go ahead and circle those, and we'll move on to number 8. All right, it says, read this sentence from paragraph 5 of The Scent of Memory. Even with raisins and brown sugar, it's hard to swallow. All right, what do you think hard to swallow means? What does the phrase hard to swallow suggest about the narrator? So the narrator said, even with raisins and brown sugar, it's hard to swallow. Does he have a sore throat? Does it mean he does not like oatmeal? C, he prefers plain oatmeal. D, he is not hungry. Which one of those talks about the meaning of hard to swallow? All right, I'll give you a minute on that. And then we're going to go on to number 9. All right. Number 9. In paragraph 17 of The Scent of Memory, why does the narrator most likely say that he feels positively mighty? All right. A, he recognizes that he has grown taller in the past year. B, he believes that his father would not have been able to do the work himself. C, he is pleased that his father recognizes his helpfulness and ability. And D, he has accomplished something he thought was impossible. All right, so one thing that you could do is go back to seeing what happened when he said, when the positively mighty was in the story and what was happening at that time. Let's see, find positively. Oh, here we go. On the ride home, I nearly fall asleep, so my dad reaches over and gives me a playful punch in the arm. That went twice as fast today. With your help, son, you're getting pretty strong, he says, and I feel positively mighty. All right, so going back here, why does the narrator most likely say that he feels positively mighty? He recognizes he has grown taller in the past year. He believes that his father would not have been able to do the work himself. C, he is pleased that his father recognizes his helpfulness and ability. D, he has accomplished something he thought was impossible. All right, and lastly, number 10. All right. How does the author develop the narrator's point of view in The Scent of Memory? A, by having the narrator recall a specific day from his childhood. B, by having the narrator use only the sense of smell to describe a memory. C, by having the narrator alternate between past and present to show the past's influence. D, by having the narrator reflect on how his life has changed a great deal since his youth. All right, so think about what happened in the story and think about what the whole story took place in just one day, didn't it? So he was thinking about Esther. All right, we are going to go on. Okay, well, I have good news for you. We're going to only do one story today. So we have just finished that. So we are finished with reading today. All right, we will see you or talk to you again on Tuesday, April 28th. Have a great weekend.